Hey y'all, what's up? Dr. Heavenly here. Listen, I'm doing something a little different today. My hair, I'm gonna need to get it done. I'm gonna get my hair done. But anyway, I'm gonna do something a little different here today because my editor told me to go ahead and do some stuff for her to actually edit for some nice videos, some motivational videos. So guys, I'm coming in today. I know it's Sunday, it's the Super Bowl. I didn't tell nobody I was going live. So the people gonna come in. We got some people already in the chat. So come on in, come on in. And this is why I say go ahead and make sure you like and subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so y'all will see when I go live. Listen, so what y'all want to talk about today? Because I can talk about a plethora of things. I'm actually doing this for a video to see and motivate you guys, but I can pretty much talk about anything. First of all, foremost, I want to thank y'all. Married to Medicine has reached a new height. They say that we actually increased our viewership 46%. Some pages say 37, but 46. I'm gonna go with the 46%. And I need to thank y'all for it. Thank y'all for watching Married to Medicine. Thank y'all so much. That helps us so much. And I think it's a plethora of reasons. I think that Phaedra Parks brought eyes to our show that some people may have not noticed. I believe that Carlos King and I going live helped a whole lot. A lot of the drama on the show and off the show, the situation with Jackie, good, better, and different, it brings eyes to the table. I think that Sweet Tea was a major factor. Y'all want to thank me for that. Listen, but major factor that we saw a different side, a different thought process, if you will, that I probably would never agree with, but some of y'all may agree with, that thinks a lot differently than we do. And it's from a different social economic status, educational level, every way that's different. They brought in somebody that was new, that actually wasn't afraid to be who they were. So kudos to Married to Medicine and everybody involved. I think it was a collaborative effort, and I appreciate all of you guys. So today we're gonna talk about business. We're gonna talk about money. We're gonna talk about relationships. Okay, so I'm gonna give y'all a little information, but remind you this is for my video here. You know what I mean? I know I got on my little outfit, but it's all good. At least my makeup is done today. Okay. We want to talk about business and money, okay? First thing we're going to say about money is, listen, it is a game. Money is an illusion. You will never see it. A lot of times you won't see it, and you won't see it coming. You won't see it go. It slides through your hands. That's why a lot of people say don't keep some money in cash, because actually you got something tangible that you can see and you spend. Because if you got Apple Pay and digital money and Cash App and Zelle, you never see the money, so it doesn't seem like it's something real to you guys. And it goes and comes. It goes and comes quickly. You know what I'm saying? So keep some cash so you can see the money and feel the money. Main thing we talk about Dr. Heavenly University, the first thing we're gonna get into is budgeting your money. Okay. But before we can get into budgeting, we have to understand what money is. Money is a game. Listen, money is a game that we play. And just like anything else, if you losing at the game, you don't want to play no more. You don't want to play no more. That's true for anything. For example, if you're in school and you're really good at school, and I know a lot of people learn different ways. Like some people learn by visual, some people learn by hearing, some people learn by doing, some people learn by seeing other people do, right? But if you're in school and it's a structured way of learning, a lot of people can't grasp the concept, not because they're not smart, but because they learn different ways, right? But if you're in school and you're in a public school and you can't do any different and they're teaching a certain way, you kind of give up on the game. It's a game, but you don't want to play anymore if you're not winning. That's just like if you playing spades online. I like to play spades online. I like to play chess. I like to play poker. I like to play games like that. If you're not winning, that's when you just exit the thing and you just leave. Money is a game, and you got to learn how to play the game. And the only way you can learn how to play the game is by playing. You got to play with it. My whole thing is, a lot of people say, I don't want to make any mistakes. I don't want to lose money doing that. I don't want to make a big financial mess up. That's how you learn. If you're afraid to make a mistake, you're never going to go far with money. You're not. I make big mistakes all the time. For example, I'm going to tell you one mistake is having emotional attachment to money, emotional, and making emotional decisions. That comes with your house, with your properties, with your cars, with your businesses, right? You can't make emotional decisions at all. You got to make strong-willed, prayed up, Bible-based, functional decisions. You know what I'm saying? You got to be logical a lot of times when you make decisions. I can tell you one mistake I had recently. I opened a beauty supply store. I put a lot of money in the beauty supply store, beautiful store, great concept, make money. However, it was an emotional decision. I made the decision for my daughter because she liked beauty supplies. She liked hair and makeup and all that. That's not my forte. So I did it for my daughter, and she left me and went to FAMU and wanted me to run it. Listen, I'm going to only do it in my lifetime. This time I'm 53 years old, right? I'm only going to do what I like doing. That's why they say not only passion, what you're doing has to have a passion, but it's got to have a purpose too. If it's not your passion, you ain't going to want to do it. You're going to exit the strategy. Hey, that's not you, a sew-in you have. It looks so natural. Thank you so much. It is a sew-in. But thank y'all. If y'all got any questions, business, money, relationship, good morning, Sir Darren. What's your question, Saturn? What does it say? Saturn Tea Tree. Good morning. Good morning. Yes, Dr. Heaven, you look good. I look all right. I've done better, baby, but you know, I'm all right. Let's talk about buying property in this economy. Okay, that's a great question. Buying property in this economy, I'm going to say, unless you're getting a great deal, don't buy it. If you're not getting at least 20% less than the appraised value, unless it's something you just always wanted. For example, we just bought a commercial property, right? Got a good deal on it, but it was a property that my husband's business is in. Okay, so it's an owner occupied property. It made sense because it was just now for sale, right? We the people put it for sale because, you know, the economy not good right now. I don't care what nobody tell you. People don't have money like they used to. I don't know about the numbers and the deficit and the GDP and all of that. I know based on business that a lot of people don't have money right now. So the property became for sale, and we were able to get financing for us, no money down, actually. And it was a good time to buy for us. But normally, unless it's a great situation, don't buy right now, because you know the banks are even telling you right now. I just met with my banker that the interest rates are going to go down really soon. It's what is it, February 2024? I'm just saying that for reference. It's February 2024. The banks are telling me that the rates are going to go down. So you either want to wait till the rates go down, or you're going to have to get that property at a good rate, or have a reason to buy the property. For example, like my husband, his property became for sale and we were able to get it, no money down. So, you know, it all makes sense. You got to make sure it makes sense for you. But buying in this state of the economy, I would say be very cautious in buying property right now. I wouldn't, honestly, I wouldn't buy it unless it was just a great deal. That's just me. See money, feel the money. That's right, LRGA Curse. I love you so much because you get it. You get it. You're an insurance agent, so you get that, you know, financial advice, and financial advisors are just that. They're advising you on finances. And a lot of times they're teaching you a lot of times financial advisors don't know. A lot of times people leave their career as a teacher or whatever and come into the financial advisor arena, right? And they come in financial advisor working for a company like Edward Jones or whoever, right? And JP Morgan, whatever. And they come in and they give the people a template of what to do. So basically, they're not advising you on finances. They're actually putting you in products that benefit them the most. You know what I'm saying? Where they get the most commission, or their banks get the most commission. So a financial advisor is not always the way to go. My whole thing is you got to get your financial education. And that's what Dr. Heavenly University is. You got to learn. You got to learn about the money. You got to learn about the rule of 72. You got to learn about compound interest and how it works. And you know what I'm saying? How you going from 1,000 to 2,000 to 4,000 to 8,000, and how to do that. You got to learn the different streams of income. Stock market is a great stream, but it can be more risky. So you got to understand your risk to reward, right? Real estate to me is less risky if you buy right and you learn, but don't buy anything until you understand it. That's why I say you don't have to get your education through Dr. Heavenly University, but get it somewhere before you make major purchases. Even student loans. Before you go out there and get a college education, which I advise, try to go out and find the money first. Don't come out of college on $200,000 and $300,000 with no plan. You know what I'm saying? So everything you do, just try to take your time and get some knowledge on what you're doing before you do it. Because a lot of times, if you just take time and sit back and think, or be around like-minded individuals. That's why we do our mastermind, and that's why we have our 90-day accelerator, is so you could be around like-minded people. A lot of people have done what you already tried to do, and they can give you some great advice. Now, is all the advice the same for everybody? No, it's not. Financial advice is based on what makes you feel comfortable, right? For example, you know how people, I'm a relationship expert by trade, by research and all that, by time. I'm a relationship expert based on time. I can tell you what I think about your relationship, but every relationship is different, and only you know what you need, only you know what you want, and only you know what makes you happy. Something that makes me happy or makes me feel good may not be the same for you. And just like financial advice, some people feel more comfortable, you know what I mean, putting their money in the bank where they know they're gonna get the money market savings amount and never, doing anything with it. Sometimes that makes them feel comfortable. Like a lot of people teach you never to pay off your house. Keep that money and invest it and put it in other forms of income that can increase quicker than your house. My whole thing is I teach people to pay off your residence, the house you living in, the house you want to be in. Paid it off. That's where that's done. But now your investment properties you can play with. That's what I teach you. Your investment property, get you 4-5 investment properties. Learn how to do it. We have a credit specialist at Dr. Heavenly University that will help you get credit cards, tell you which banks to go to, and I give them to you now. Truist is good. Wells Fargo is good. You got to have decent credit, so fix your credit first. Know what the credit score is that you need to go in there, and you can get credit cards in your business name. One thing we're teaching people is to get that LLC. The LLC means so much, so much, and then the EIN number. All that's really easy to do. But once you have that, right? Once you have that, now you can talk about getting credit and different things in your business name. Now it takes time. And it takes, I don't know, a quick way to do stuff. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I know people say, hey, I can teach you how to make $100,000 out of $1,000. To me, if somebody tell you that, you better run. You better run. But I'm going to teach you the way to do it and the way I'm teaching my children. For example, my son Zachary, and my other son, I teach them both. I have them on my payroll. I've had them on my payroll for years, right? And the reason being is so they can develop their own credit. I got an American Express card in their name. Basically, I'm the co-signer, so they can start increasing their credit, right? Leave a legacy for your children, right? I put them on my payroll as children, right? First for their IRAs, because you want to maximize. I don't care what nobody say. Maximize the stuff that's tax deferred and tax deductible. Just maximize that. If you get 401k and they match in any way, do it. Do it. I'm saying, I know a lot of people say don't do the 401k. Yeah, it's based on the stock market. The stock market could crash, but I'll say again, if the stock market crash, that's going to be the least of your concerns. Because the stock market crash, the whole world going to be effed up, and y'all know it. So my whole thing is anything that the government gives you a tax advantage for doing it, do it. 401k, IRAs, 529 for college, even though those 529s were not enough money for my kids. I maximized the 529s. I think you can put as much in it as you want. Like you put 100,000 in your 529, but they only let you deduct, I think 4,000 if you're single and 8,000 if you're a married couple. But 529s, all that stuff, make sure you put money in those things because that's tax deferred or tax deductible. Max that out first, right? Then we talk about different areas of income. Don't learn to hate money. Money. This is what we get into mindset. We talk about mindset all the time. We talk about what you believe is true. If you believe you can, you can. And that's in any concept of anything you do, right? If you believe you could do it, if you believe you could be a reality TV star. And I like to say, a lot of people don't get this, but there's probably two different sides to Dr. Heavenly, right? We got the reality TV star, Dr. Heavenly, and we got the smart businesswoman, Dr. Heavenly. And if y'all don't see the difference, then y'all missing something really, really impactful here. Dr. Heavenly has been very successful in doing everything she does, and she understands the concept. Now, this is where the dilemma comes in. A lot of people feel like, okay, as a doctor, as a wife, as a mother, as a child of God, reality TV may not be the most positive output for me. And it's basically the position I play on the show is the messy person, the person that tells the truth. One thing we're going to learn, and two things for sure, is people do not like the truth. They don't like the truth. I don't like the truth. You know what I'm saying about me? But my whole thing is you come in a situation and you decide what your boundaries are. And they may be different for you. Like me and Simone, we had the conversation. She said, I could never be the messy person that you are. And my whole thing is I can never embarrass my husband. You know what I'm saying? Everybody making a choice. You got to give something to get something, but everybody's different. That's why I say, what's important for you, what your value system is, may be a lot different from mine. Because I look at reality TV as that, of course, it's our real lives, and we're giving our real lives and our real thoughts. But it's still TV. It's still you acting a little bit. You really, it's yourself on 10. So my whole thing is I don't really realize it as being something real. And I know a lot of people take it as real because it's people's real lives. But you got to think about with reality TV, you're putting out something negative. So I think that you have an obligation to put out some positive stuff as well, which is Dr. Heavenly University. If y'all don't know what this is, get at somebody. Go to my website. It's down at drheavenlyuniversity.com. We got a whole lot of stuff coming in. If y'all got any questions or comments, leave them down there. If you got any questions or comments, make sure you hit the notification bell. So every time I go live, no matter what I'm talking about, you get to hear it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to get to 1 million followers. I'm gonna do a lot of challenges and stuff to get there because I know how to do things, right? Another thing is that timing is so important in all investments and with money. And if you really want to make some big money, you got to keep your money moving. You got to know where to put it. Like right now, I think the CDs, some of them are going for 6 to 7% in different banks. It might be a time to move your money out of money market and get that 7%, but don't leave your money stagnant. Money is a powerful thing if you know what to do with it. First and foremost, a lot of people telling me they ain't got no money. Heavenly, I ain't got no money. I don't have none. We're going to go through a series of videos on how to get money based on what you already done, and how to budget your money and use the money you already have to invest. So we're going to talk about that so much more. Don't worry about it. I'm going to look at this whole life insurance policies. Yes. Whole life is something powerful, but you got to be disciplined. If you're not going to be disciplined and you're going to play with your money, you're going to buy a Gucci purse and stuff like that. I bet it for TV. Okay. Outside of that, I was not that girl with all that. Now I do like a nice car. Now I'm going to just go and say, I'm going to just have a nice car. That's just my priority. I'm always going to be riding smooth. I'm going to do that. But I work hard and I buy it in such a fashion that I'm writing it off through my business. I lease my Mercedes, right? Every 2 years, I get a new car. If I got another business, I can buy a truck over 6,000 pounds. I'm writing off dollar for dollar. So do what you want, but find a way to do it that is smart, that you can do it with saving tax dollars, because tax is your main bill. Your main thing is taxes once you start making a substantial amount of money. Taxes and your payroll is high. If your payroll, and you know what? I've heard a lot of business experts say, hire slowly, fire quickly, right? And I agree with that to some extent. But a lot of times I'm not going to say fire quickly. If you can find an employee that wants to work, that has the right attitude, sometimes that's more important than the person that actually has the skill. I'm going to say that again. Sometimes it's more important for the person to have the right attitude or the right personality to work with you than the person with the skill, because you could teach a skill. Basically, in a lot of these jobs, I can teach you what to do if you got the right personality. And if you're in a small business, you better be with somebody you like. Because one thing I've learned in the years, the decades that I've been in business, is that you can find somebody that's very, very efficient in their job, very, very good in their job. And I know it's one funny thing is a series of, I think it's on Instagram, a girl named Veronica, and she got a smart mouth. Look like she's really, really good at her job. But you got to have the right personality, because if you get with a person with the real good at their job and they don't have the right personality, it's not going to work. You better off starting with somebody that has the right personality, that's somebody that really wants to work, somebody with the right attitude, and somebody that got all the skills, because we can teach the skills. We can't teach the personality. We can't teach it. So that's a pearl there. Stay away from homeowners association fees. If they can take pay for a home that you not pay the fees. Yes, a lot of things with homes that we're going to get into, because you honestly, I'm going to tell you this and I'm going to take it back. You ain't going to never really own anything, because you always gonna have taxes. You always gonna have, on homeowners. And I don't like homeowners, especially with condos. I was ready to purchase a condo, right, for my son. And I looked at it. And this is a valuable lesson. Those condos, home association fees, based on how old the condo is, and you get a new one. And if you got a plan to sell it, then that may be something different. But as that condo deteriorates and stuff goes wrong with the pool or the water or the air, or whatever, they can charge you what they want to based on your contract with the home association fees. So watch out for those. That's just something to talk about. And you never really own anything, because I could own this house free and clear, which I do. But if I don't pay my taxes, right? And we teach you homestead exemption. You've been in your house and you can get a homestead exemption. Now that takes the value of your house down per se, but if you ain't gonna sell it anyway, you know what I mean? You're gonna have to get appraisal anyway. You can tell them, hey, I feel like this land is worth this house is worth this. They take it down on Zillow. Your house may look like it's worth less, but the reason you did that was to pay less taxes if your house is paid for. If you're paying for the taxes, actually, a lot of times people don't notice it if the bank is paying the taxes, which is a part of your mortgage, your PITI, which is your property taxes, your insurance, your interest, and your principal on your loan. But once you own a house free and clear, which a lot of people don't ever get to, but you got taxes, so you do the homestead exemption. My taxes went from almost half for doing a homestead exemption and just making the value of my land on paper less. So that's something to be learned. What else I got? Property taxes. You never really own anything because you always gonna owe taxes, right? But the key to get around that is have a certain amount of money in the bank, right? Once you get to a certain level where you bet, everybody feel like every dime they make, they need to spend it, right? And I've been guilty of that too, because when you first get money, the first thing I wanted in my life was a big screen TV. I know that it might not sound like much to y'all, but I'm gonna tell you, when you go to school for a long time, it's a delayed gratification, because you're looking at the people around you. They got jobs and you still in school, and they got a nice car. You know what I mean? I used to think a Honda Accord with the electric windows. You know what I'm saying? With the spoiler on the back. I thought that was so nice. I was like, dang, I can't even get it because I'm in school. I'm working to pay my tuition. Well, I ain't working to pay my tuition. I had a full scholarship for undergrad. And then for dental school, I actually took out student loans, So I got some scholarships, but I took out student loans. But the people have the nice things and it's delayed gratification. But if you could learn to save a certain amount of money, put it in, and this is the money you don't ever touch. You put it in a money market savings as solid as you can. And I need some water. As solid as you can, leave that money there, and the interest on that money can pay your bills. When you get to that level, that's when you're financially free. That's when you're financially free. Don't worry about the credit card. The credit cards that you can get a 0% interest in your business name. I know it seems like, again, we making emotional decisions, right? I know it seems like it's wrong to not pay off that credit card, but if the credit card is 0%, leave that alone. Pay off the high interest stuff first. You know what I'm saying? And I know a lot of times people look at stuff and say, hey, it's more emotional. And sometimes it is, to go ahead and pay stuff off because it makes you feel good, even if it was a lower interest stuff. So if it's a lower amount and you can pay it off quickly, go ahead and pay it off. That makes you feel good. But pay off the stuff that got the highest interest first. That's just logical. If you got a credit card that's 18, 22, 24%, pay that off first. Pay that for first. And y'all know, if y'all get a cash advance on that card, the cash advance part is a higher interest rate than the regular credit card. And a lot of times those credit cards, and most times those credit cards, don't allow you to pay the cash balance part off until you pay the card off. So don't get caught up in the game. It's a big game that we've been led astray. We've been hoodwinked. We've been bamboozled, right? In order to get into that credit debt that they know you can't ever pay. But if you do get in debt, we talk about this too, because we got tax attorneys, we got attorneys in Dr. Heavenly University that will teach you sometimes the best thing is to file bankruptcy. A lot of people don't want to do it because they feel like, their feelings or whatever. Don't put your feelings in the money. Don't make no emotional decisions. Sometimes filing bankruptcy, Donald Trump has done it over and over and over again. You find out the rules and then play them to benefit yourself, right? Filing bankruptcy might take you a certain amount of years that you don't have to pay this stuff off, right? If you can get the different bankruptcy laws and find out what you don't have to pay, then you can actually take time and say, hey, you know what? I learned from my mistakes. I got bankruptcy. I don't have to pay this stuff off. So now I'm going to take my money and save it until I can pay for something else. Because a lot of times bankruptcies, sometimes, because you can still get a hard money loan, sometimes bankruptcies will keep you from getting loans. But you can come back and say, hey, you know what? I ain't got to pay this stuff no more. So let me save the money that I was going to pay in my credit cards. You know what I'm saying? or you can get on a payment plan or something like that. But anyway, money is an emotional decision. Don't make emotional decisions with your money. Make logical decisions. And money is a game. It's an illusion. It's illusion. It's illusion. You never see it. And paper dollar is not valuable at all. It's just a transfer. It's a currency going from hand to hand. God's money is gold and silver and land. Land. If you can get real estate, get it. If you can get land, get it. If you can get gold and silver, get it. Dr. Heavenly University, we're telling you different places to get it. We actually showing you where some places I get it. I don't ever advise you to go where I go. I just tell you where I'm going, and then we can get you a discount. But I never tell you where to go because, a lot of people, I found out that, but we tell you what to do and how to do it. Main thing with Dr. Heavenly University is getting the education, the financial education, and understanding money, understanding business, understanding relationships, and how all that goes together. Because relationships is a part of money. If y'all don't believe it, I'm telling you, a partnership with a husband and wife is one of the biggest things that can make you or break you. So that's part of it. So we got to get into relationships. We got to get into business because that's the only way you make money. I'm not going to say passive, but pretty much passive. If you own your own business, I always encourage people to get an online business because I learned from Stormy and a lot of other people, click and order is way better than brick and mortar. And I learned that the hard way. If you're in a profession, I tell you to get the education if you can get it. But if you're going to get just the undergrad degree, a lot of people are hiring without that undergrad degree, right? But if you're going to get a specialty degree, that's the reason to go to school, become an attorney, an accountant, a physician, a dentist, whatever. But if you're not going to go that far and you just want an undergrad degree, you got to think about what you really want to do. Because if you're coming out of school with $200,000 worth of student loans and your major was philosophy, I mean, unless you got a chance of, working in your parents' business or you got a plan, sometimes that's not the best plan to take out all that money to go to college. It just isn't. What else I got? What advice can you give a 20 find something you like doing? If you don't like doing it, you ain't gonna do it. Find something that, like people say, it's cliche, but stuff you don't feel like it's work. I say join. If you ain't even got to join Dr. Heavenly University, join somewhere. Find you some mentors that have done what you've done, that you want to do. Because people love to talk. People love to help. People tell you things. If I knew right now, at 26, what I do now, oh man, it would be a game changer for me. It would be a game changer for me. So guys, I want to thank y'all. This is just my first segment. I'm actually putting it out there for my girl to actually take it and edit it and add stuff to it, backdrops and things like that. But I love you guys and I want you to win. And my whole thing is let me see what you're talking about. Heavenly, you're right. Since I sell insurance, the Bible says probably a good man leaves an inheritance for your children's children. That's right. That's right. Children's children. I'm going to leave that up there because that's so powerful. Because at Dr. Heavenly University, we are Bible-based. We actually talk about the Lord. We talk about kings and queens are paid in gold and silver. Lord and ladies are paid in, kings and queens are paid in silver. Lord and ladies are paid in gold. We're going to talk about that, how the value of silver is so important right now. But anything tangible, anything God's money, oil, land, precious metals, those kind of things, those are the number one things you want to own. You want to own properties. Then after that, we talk about stocks and bonds. We talk about Forex trading, which is very, 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 very risky. But I've seen people make millions, and we got a bad girl on our Forex trading that actually giving you trades, but that's play money. That ain't no real money. Don't put your money in there, okay? But first of all, we got to get your finances in order. We got to get your mindset right. We got to make sure you're healthy and feeling good because you can't do none of this if you're not feeling good. And we got to get your mindset right. I said your mindset. So before we can get into any of this stuff, and then the 8 streams of income, and like I said, everybody got a different walk of life. Don't compare yourself to the girl down the street because the girl down the street may have millions, but then she's not healthy. Or the person over there may have something that you don't have, but they in debt. So don't ever compare yourself. And people always put their best foot forward, but you never know what they're going through. But my thing is now, Dr. Heavenly University, this is what I really want to do. This is what I like doing, and I'm going to actually keep doing it. But that's my time. They told me do 30-minute segments, and I appreciate you guys. If you like anything about this video, make sure you like it, make sure you subscribe to my channel, and make sure you leave your questions down at the bottom, okay? And I will be going live Monday to talk about marriage and medicine and stuff like that. But leave your questions down there, and I hope you like this because I really like talking like this. I really like doing this. So I'll see y'all later, and thank God for everything. Get up in the morning, praise God, and be grateful for everything you got. In Jesus' name we pray. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.